Good morning, students. Last class we discussed about few topic from the chapter physical world. The topic which we had discussed is your what is science and what is its classification, and then we discuss about scientific method. Now today we are going to discuss a few topics starting with the scientific theory. Now you see what is written here. Scientific theory is the set of limited number of laws in terms of which the behavior of a physical system can be explained. Now you see, in scientific theory, no theory is your final theory. It means in science there is always some scope for improvement. Okay. Now there are many examples. Now in ancient time, basically people used to think what they decide, that one is their final, and everyone must have to follow their decision. There are many instances. One instances let me try to explain. Now in ancient times, the priest of the church, some priest of the church basically believe that Earth is at the center and all planets are moving around the Earth, and also Sun is moving around the Earth. Now this is their theory. Now a person revolted against this theory, and he pointed out that instead of Earth is at the center, rather Sun is at the center, and Earth is moving around the Sun, and all planets are moving around the Sun. But people that time they found that priest as antisocial, and as a result what they did, they hanged that person. Now later on, after many experiments, it was found that that person was right, and he pointed out the theory that he pointed out was correct. So we lost a great person, or you can say a great scientist and great scholar, due to the mindset of the people. Now nowadays this type of case is very rare. Now if you want to change any theory, what you have to do, you have to follow the scientific method. Now if you can follow the scientific method, all the steps of the scientific method, and if you can verify your theory by the scientific method, then definitely people will accept your theory. So in science nothing is final, and also this is the demand of the nature, because already we know the saturated things are always bad, and rather unsaturated things are good. I think in lower class you have heard which one is better, oil or butter. So basically oil is better. Oil is better than the butter, because oil is your what? Unsaturated, and butter is your saturated. So if something is saturated, then there is very less scope for improvement. So science is what? Definitely there is no specific or final theory, or you can say whatever theory till now we are getting, if you want to show some basic reason, definitely you can change the theory. Definitely for that you have to go by scientific method. Now as per the definition, what we have said, scientific theory is the set of limited number of laws in terms of which the behavior of a physical system can be explained. And there are few things we are considering here. So geocentric theory tells that Earth is stationary, which is replaced by heliocentric theory, which tells that Sun is stationary and all planets are revolving around it. So there are many instances. Definitely you will get in class 12 also. There is a theory put forward by Newton regarding the speed of sound. Now the formula which he had derived, that is your V equal to root over P by rho. P is the pressure and rho is the density of air. Now once you substitute the value comes out to be your 280 meter per second speed of sound in air. But this value is very less. Later on that formula modified by Laplace, and the modified formula is your V equal to root over gamma P by rho. So P is your atmospheric pressure, rho is the density of air, and gamma is the ratio of the specific heat. And once we substitute the value, we will get that one near about 320 meter per second. So this one is more precise. So you have seen that the formula you can change, but for that definitely you should have a valid reason, and you must have to go through the scientific method. Now there are many instances. Let me consider one more. Newton's theory regarding the source of light. Basically the ray that comes out from the source, Newton put forward that the ray that comes out is nothing but a kind of arrow, but Huygens put forward that it is not a arrow, rather it is some kind of wave. So again that Huygens formula is further modified by some other scientist, that is your Einstein, and he put forward that light is nothing but some kind of packet of energy which he had defined as a photon. So if you go for the history part, definitely you will see that nothing is permanent in science, and there is always scope for improvement of the theory as well as the mathematical formula. Now let me go for this topic. So this is your scientific theory, and now let me go for this topic, interplay between theoretical models and experiment. So in science basically what happened, in some cases we used to get the result first of all by experiment, and then we go for the theoretical interpretation of the experimental part. And in some cases what happened, theory comes first, and after that we used to go the experimental part later. So here we are considering 2 points. Number 1 point is the alpha particle scattering experiment established the nuclear model of atom. So the experimental part, alpha particle experimental part, define the nuclear model. Now the number 2, the theoretical concept of antiparticle introduced by Dirac. Dirac is a scientist, was confirmed 2 years later by the experimental discovery of positron by Carl Anderson. So you have seen that in some cases theory comes first, then we used to go for the experiment, and in some cases experiment come first, then you go for the theory. Now you are studying science, so science can be classified as your physics, chemistry and biology. So these physics, chemistry and biology, these are interrelated. And what is mathematics? Mathematics is nothing but some kind of tool which is used basically for mathematical calculation. Now what physics do basically? Physics is the branch of science which deals with nature and natural phenomenon. This is a very important one. It is a branch of science which deals with nature and natural phenomenon which surround us basically. And it deals with the various features of natural world such as space, time, energy, matter, motion, etc. So this thing you will get as we keep on studying the subject. Now in physics basically we used to go for 2 principal area. One is your unification, another one is your reduction. Now unification is your what? Unification is an attempt to explain diverse physical phenomenon in terms of few concepts and laws. Okay, let me to repeat. Unification is an attempt to explain diverse physical phenomenon in terms of few concepts and laws. Now let me take the example. Now in physics basically we'll try to minimize the laws. There are many laws are there, but we always try to find a single law by which we can explain all the phenomenon that avails surround us. So here let me consider this law, Newton's law of gravitation constant. Now Newton's law basically define the motion of an object falling towards the earth, and similarly Newton's law can be used to explain the motion of planets around earth. Motion of planets around earth. So Newton's law, that is some kind of force of gravitation, and the formula, which is nothing but is your F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So same law we are using to explain different physical phenomenon. One is your freely falling body towards the earth, another one is your motion of planets around the earth, or you can say motion of earth around the sun. So this thing can be explained by the same law, that is nothing but the Newton's law of gravitation. Now next one is your reduction. Now you see what is reduction. Reduction is an attempt to explain a macroscopic system in terms of microscopic constituents. Now what is the difference between macroscopic and macroscopic? The things which we can see by naked eye, that is your macroscopic, and the thing which we see by using microscope, that is your microscopic constituent. Now here how can we explain this part? Basically if I ask you to derive electric energy from coal, what we will do? This is a long process, not it. So what you will do? You will split the process. Split the process in the sense, what you will do? You will take a piece of coal, you will burn it, and if you burn it, you will get energy, and with that energy what you will do? You will try to vaporize water, and once you vaporize water, you will get steam. Now with that steam, what you will do? You will try to rotate the turbine. Now once you rotate the turbine, then definitely that mechanical energy can be transformed into electrical energy by using a generator. So the long process can be split up into small process to get the final result. So here are some examples we have taken. Examples part: macroscopic property temperature were explained in terms of kinetic energy of the molecules. So in class 11 itself you do have chapter kinetic theory of gases. Now there you will see that temperature is the sole parameter for the motion of the molecules. So in reduction, basically what we will do, we will try to split the long process into small process, and finally we will try to get the result. And unification is what? We will try to consider a single law to explain different phenomenon. Now in later on you will see that two forces avail in the universe. One is your electric force, another one is your gravitational force. Now why we are not considering some other forces? Because many forces are there. Muscular force is there, buoyancy force is there, frictional force is there. There are many forces are there, but we are trying to consider these two forces, electric force and gravitational force, to explain all the phenomenon, because we are trying to unify. We are trying to unify in the sense that we are trying to explain all the phenomenon in terms of two forces. One is your electrical force, another one is your gravitational force. Practically Einstein tries to go for a single force instead of 2-3 forces, and for that he derived the string theory. He tries to explain all the phenomenon which is happening surrounding us, or which happened around us, can be explained by single force, and for that he defined string theory. You will learn more about string theory in your modern physics. If you want to know, go in modern physics, you will learn lots. So in next class we will try to go for scope of physics. So you will see that physics can define the dimension of the universe, and simultaneously it can define the dimension of the electron. So it has a wide range. So this is all about for this class, and more we'll discuss in coming class. Thank you.